This video provides an overview of major incident management in the ServiceNow platform. Linked timecodes for these topics appear in the YouTube description for this video. Sometimes your customers are faced with certain issues that require prioritized attention. Major incident management provides us with the tools needed to determine what incidents require immediate action, as well as to help facilitate the teams, individuals, and actions that remediate the issues. A major incident is a high-impact, typically high-priority incident that affects business, which needs to be resolved as soon as possible. The ITIL version 3 Service Operation Guide states, "The circumstances that constitute what should be considered a major incident must be agreed upon and ideally mapped onto the overall incident prioritization system, such that it will be dealt with through the major incident process." Keep in mind that some lower priority incidents may need to be treated as a major incident due to potential business impact, while some high priority incidents may not need to be addressed this way. For example, a customer may perceive an issue as high priority, while in actuality the resolutions are obvious and the normal incident process can be used. But ultimately, the individual organization determines what they consider to be a major incident as they are able to best define their business needs. And major incident management is the process to do that. The first step of the major incident management process is to identify a major incident. We want to use a certain degree of caution when declaring a major incident. We don't want to take a lot of time in doing so, but we also want to avoid those false positives, or incidents that are later determined not to be major incidents. When customers report what they consider to be major incidents, the Major Incident Manager assesses the business impact that the reported issue is having on the customer. This will help confirm if the incident should be flagged as a major incident. The process for this starts with an incident being opened for the issue the customer is reporting. The next step is to propose an incident as a major incident candidate. That is, does this incident show the traits of what could be considered a major incident? Anyone with the ITIL role can create a major incident candidate or propose an existing incident as a major incident candidate. First, let's look at how we propose an existing incident as a major incident candidate. To do that, we can click on the context menu and select Propose Major Incident. We see this message letting us know that the incident has been proposed as a major incident candidate for further review. And the Major Incident tab is now available for adding additional information. When the incident is proposed as a candidate, the system sends a push notification to the Major Incident Management group. If on-call scheduling is enabled, it also sends a notification to the designated on-call Major Incident Manager. Another option is to simply create a new Major Incident candidate. Perhaps we're part of the support desk or in an applications group, and while in the process of opening an incident, we determine that something is wrong, which warrants extra review for a potential major incident. We can use the Create Major Incident Candidate module. We fill this form out just as we would any other incident form. However, the Major Incident tab will already be here for us to populate with the relevant information. Just as before, when we submit the incident, a push notification is sent out to the Major Incident Management group. The third option for creating a major incident candidate would be through the Major Incident Trigger Rules module. This module allows you to create rules which, when activated, will automatically trigger a major incident candidate to be created. We could create a trigger rule that creates a major incident candidate whenever a P1 incident is generated. Or we can create a trigger rule when the count for the number of child incidents exceeds a certain value. It's up to you to determine what conditions to use for these trigger rules. Trigger rules can be viewed by any user with the ITIL or Major Incident Manager role, but only users with the Incident Manager or Admin role can create or edit major incident trigger rules. Looking at an incident that was proposed as a major incident candidate, we see this Major Incident tab has been added to the form. The following fields are listed on the Major Incident tab. First, we have the Major Incident State field, which defaults to Proposed. Next is the Business Impact field, where the user with the ITIL role who proposed the candidate provides information on the impact the reported issue is having on the customer's business operations. And the Probable Cause field. Now let's take on the role of the Major Incident Manager, whom we'll refer to as Manager. Once an incident has been proposed as a major incident, we'll follow this basic workflow. One option is to review any candidates and either promote them or reject them. After an incident has been proposed, the system sends a notification to the Major Incident Management Group and users with the Major Incident Manager role. Logged in as the user with the Major Incident Manager role, we have access to the Major Incident Manager Overview dashboard. Here we see an overview of all major incidents, including the candidates, active major incidents, and resolved major incidents. Let's take a look at the Major Incident Candidates list and select this one. After we've reviewed and assessed the issue reported, we can right-click to expand our options and choose to either promote the incident to a major incident or reject the major incident candidate. Let's go ahead and promote it. A note is added stating that the incident was accepted as a major incident. And the Major Incident State field under the Major Incident tab changes to Accepted. We also want to make sure the incident is assigned to someone, as this field will not auto-populate when the Major Incident candidate is accepted. If we had decided to reject the Major Incident candidate, we would select this option. Doing that would have added a work note, providing the person assigned to the incident with an update on the status of the request, and the Major Incident State would update to Rejected. Another option that's available to the Major Incident Manager is to create a new Major Incident record. This might be a good choice if there are a number of major incident candidates with the same issue and no trigger rule has been set up to create a major incident with those circumstances. Opening a new Major Incident record allows us to attach all relevant candidates as child incidents. All additional incidents that are open for the same issue can then be added as child incidents. A third option is to use the Major Incident Properties page, which can be accessed by the system administrator. This property determines how a major incident is created from a candidate. Here we select the property value. Because this setting is at an organizational level, you'll want to set it to whatever best serves your organization's process. Our options are to promote candidate to a major incident, which is the default value and the recommended practice, or to create a new major incident from an existing candidate. We'll select Promote Major Incident from Candidate and save it. This message confirms our selection. Now, when we go back to the Major Incident Candidate record, the UI action will be reflected in the choices available when we open the context menu. Here we see that we only have the option to promote major incident. If the property we had selected was Create Major Incident, that's the option we would see. When a candidate is promoted to a major incident, if the assignment group field is empty, it is assigned to the Major Incident Management Group. If the assignment group is populated when the candidate is promoted, it will not be overwritten. However, when a new major incident is created from a candidate, the assignment group of the parent, the Major Incident Candidate, will be the Major Incident Management Group by default. If we're using the On-Call plugin and a rota is defined for the Major Incident Management Group, the incident will be assigned to the current on-call user from that group. Now that we know how to identify what a major incident is and how to create and assign them, let's look at the Major Incident Response and Resolution flow, which brings support teams together to address the reported issues and keep the stakeholders informed. Here's how it works. When a major incident is accepted, two incident alerts are created. One manages the technical resolution, and the other handles the business communications to the customer. Each of these alerts has incident alert tasks. For example, sending the initial notification or sending status updates. This provides a list of steps to help the Major Incident Manager facilitate the necessary actions and communications to get the incident resolved as soon as possible. Conversely, there's also a set of tasks related to the business alerts, which focus on the communications to the customer as the resolution is in process. These are just representative examples to help you configure your own processes to best suit your business needs. But using the major incident response and resolution workflow is a valuable tool to help you give your customers the immediate relief they need in critical situations. Accessing the Major Incident Workbench here allows us to view the Major Incident Management Summary page. Here we see all the pertinent information from our major incident record. This provides us with a unified view of relevant information, such as related child incidents, affected CIs, and impacted services and CIs. Clicking the plus icon of any of these panels allows us to add additional affected items to the ongoing major incident. As an example, suppose several existing major incidents are the result of the same root cause, say a down server. We click here on the Child Incident panel and locate and select all the related incidents. The selected incidents are added to our list of child incidents, which we can view by clicking View List. We click here if we receive any calls that are related to our ongoing major incident. This will allow us to create a child incident that can be tracked as part of the response efforts for the ongoing issue. If there's a report of an outage that's relevant to our major incident and it hasn't been reported yet, we add it here. We want to select the configuration item affected. For type, we'll select outage and state the time and date of when the outage began, along with a short description. Clicking the Communication tab brings us to where we provide updates on the progress of restoration efforts by sending targeted business and technical communications. Here we see two tabs for managing communications for the relevant teams. It's up to you to determine what sequence of these actions works best for your company. A good first step would be to send a communication to the customer to explain that the issue is being actively reviewed and that further communication is forthcoming. We send it by clicking here, which will also add an entry to the email log. Back on the Information tab, we close this task, and the next action is highlighted. Next, we initiate a conference call with the customer to gather more information on the reported issue. We do that by clicking the Conference tab and initiating the call. We select the individuals to be on the call and then initiate it by clicking OK. When the call begins, we join by clicking Join Conference Call. Any other users not on the call who would like to join can also click here. When the major incident has been resolved, we treat it just like a regular incident by clicking Resolve. Doing so will resolve all the related child incidents. The Major Incident Manager will close the major incident manually, and the customer will close the child incidents after verifying that the issue is truly resolved. For more information, please consult our product documentation, knowledge base, or podcast, or ask a question in the ServiceNow community.